Hi guys, how
Hello.
are you?
Good morning.
Well,
Good.
how are you?
Doing great. So to start, I want to ask you guys, obviously when you're sitting in a car for extended periods of time as actors, you have to have something compelling to not only the audience, but for you guys as characters to kind of keep that momentum of the show going. What for you is the biggest challenge of having that kind of limitation of being in a cop car for so much of this series and relying on just the dialogue between these two?
Do you want to take that or
No,
okay.
please, please.
I mean, it was really wonderful because we really could rely on the dialogue. The beauty of sitting in a cop car is that there's a creative limitation, right? You're not wondering, am I walking over here on this line? Am I sitting on this line? Am I do you're there. And so you really get to sort of dig in and really experiment with like all I have, and especially sometimes the cameras are super close.
Yeah.
All I really have is a motion, of my head from here to here. And I can maybe lean on the window and I can maybe look out that way. So it really sort of forces you to investigate in a much more like streamlined way. What are
Mm,
my options to really get this point across or really figure out what's going on with him, you know what I mean? Or not engage him.
yeah.
So there's a real freedom to that in the sort of, constrictiveness. There's oddly a freedom.
When with the body cam footage, I think it's so interesting because I don't imagine it would change how you guys are doing because you're not thinking of the camera work, but does it shift in you knowing like there is something that is shooting like a wider shot and you're getting more of you in something because the body cam footage is picking that up?
Definitely. Actually, there were times where both Troy and I were essentially camera operating because we would have the body cams and we'd hear one of our directors yell like, "Just stop!" Like just so because
Oh
we
my
we
God.
were we would go through the entirety of the scene and we were filming it live on a GoPro on our chest. So I think that was a really cool. It was a challenge on one end, but it was also a new experience that I've never had before. So. To your point, having the body cam allows the audience to feel like almost like another participant in each and every scene.
Yeah, it was a very, very cool learning curve. And there was almost a way for us to be more in service of the scene because it
Mm,
wasn't about the emotion on our face of us taking that in. It was like, I've got to get Brandon's. So sometimes I'd be in the scene and I'd be like, because the camera's like right here. And so I'm like talking over here. They'd be like, okay, this is on him. And I don't matter right now or how ridiculous I look. So it was really cool to be in service of that.
yeah, agreed.
I have a random weird question because
Ooh, we love
I
those.
Yeah.
understand that like costumes do a lot of work. And like I feel like if I put on a cop costume, I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, that's the power." But there's something about aviators. Like if I was in Top Gun or if I was in a cop show and I put on a pair of aviators, I'd be like, no one can talk to me right now. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
How does that feel when you have like all of the pieces kind of put together and you're finally like in the body of this character, sunglasses and all?
Oh my God. How much less work do you feel like you have to do?
Yeah, you just have to show up, really.
You have to show up. You have to wear it.
Yeah,
That's the thing. You can't be like, hmm.
right. But you do
But
start to walk differently the
you
minute you put the uniform and
do.
the belt on.
You know where to rest your hands. It
Hmm.
becomes
Yeah, your hands just naturally, for some reason, go
they
there.
well they got because they can't like it's there's too much bulk around you. You can't just
Yeah.
like hold them at your sides. You need to put them on something. And so all of a sudden you understand why police officers stand this way
Yes.
and what you know what I mean. And when they take off their glasses, why they go right here. Like
Hmm.
it all starts to make sense. And it was really interesting because you say the aviators for Harmon, but I feel like your wraparounds are like so iconically Diaz too.
Hmm.
And when you would play with those, whether they be on the back of your head or your neck or something like that, I was like, oh my God, that's
Hmm.
just you discovering this character more and more because it just makes so much more sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for everyone to get to see the show. And so thank you guys so much for talking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
great
you.
one.